In this episode of Two Brothers and a Mic, Rodney and Anthony explore the importance of emotional expression and vulnerability among men, sharing personal experiences like the loss of their father and the mentorship provided by Anthony to Rodney, which helped to grow their bond even stronger. They discuss how societal pressures often push men to maintain a macho image, but emphasize that true strength lies in sharing feelings and seeking support. Together, they unpack the risks of bottling up emotions, such as depression and even the risk of suicide, while advocating for open, supportive conversations among men to address mental health. The episode also examines the unrealistic societal and financial pressures men face in relationships, highlighting the critical need for authentic male friendships that encourage honest dialogue and emotional openness.
Hello, everyone. I'm Rodney.
And I'm Anthony.
All right. So basically, we face a lot of challenges and, a lot of life lessons, leaving my father early, different things like that. So it just kind of made an unbreakable bond between us. And so, the challenges and different things we went through, me having to look up to Anthony as my mentor, just kind of put us in position to have a lot of really good stories and a lot of information we're thinking we can share that's really going to help everybody out.
Yeah. And the thing is, we're not professional therapists or nothing like that. We're just speaking from the heart on our experiences and maybe something that you guys might be going through, and you'll maybe be able to benefit from what we're saying.
That's a good point. And I think that's honestly the best way to do it because we don't want anybody to feel like we're, trying to tell them that my experience is different or better than your experience. It's just information we put out there. And then unfortunately with men, we act like, you don't really need to put it out there. But now we're finding that we really need to.
What I'm going through could be the same thing you're going through, but just not being said.
Exactly. Yeah, it's just this machismo thing that we grew up with as men about being tough and not really showing your feelings. But now that we're adults, we realize that, hey, feelings are important and we need to, as men, share that because otherwise we'll drive ourselves crazy.
Right. And then even if you look at a lot of the studies, male friendships are important. And, that mindset of just, you hanging out with a dude or going to get a drink, even though, hell, if y'all going to get food, sometimes even that stigma is looked at funny. And so people will avoid that. Like, oh, where you going? I'm going to hang out with my homeboy. You ain't going to hang out with your homeboy. Yeah, they're going to be about to go watch a movie and get some dinner.
Right.
What's the matter with that?
In today's society, label will put on us. They're a little sus.
Yeah, no, you're right. The feeling of you have to maintain that macho attitude now is kind of going by the wayside.
Yes.
Because a lot of men are hurting and they are so fearful to share their emotions and a lot of the difficulties they're going through in their life because they feel like I gotta stand up and be that dude instead of just saying, you know what, brother, I'm having a hard time.
Yeah. And it's, and I'm glad that we touched on this topic first because for me, it hits me personally because in the last, I'll say 5-6 months, I've had 3 friends commit suicide. And hey, and then us, myself and our friend, the friends of these guys, we never really touched bases to find out how they were doing, what they were going through. It was always that, hey man, how you doing? Are you cool? I'm cool. And we left it at that. Where these brothers were suffering and going through, but none of us as men stepped up to really dig deep. We didn't want to feel like we were getting too personal. You know what I mean?
And that's part of the bigger societal issue now when it comes to men. It's now become more of a mental health issue. It doesn't help when women are like, I'm not dating no broke dude. You got to at least have it. I'm in here for the bag. And so unfortunately, a lot of these men try to keep up with that. And that puts them in emotional debt and financial debt.
Right. And I know that, sure, there are some brothers who just aren't doing the right thing. But then again, there's a large number of us who are doing the right thing. But when you're pressured, first of all, by society and then by women, or wife, girlfriend or whatever, to step up to that next level. And maybe you have some things in your background or whatever, things that are holding you back. Mm-hmm. And it's hard for you to get that money, but yet you're put down for it. And so you feel like less of a man. So you go kind of into depression sometimes.
And that's it right there, because where does our place face?
Right.
I don't know, on the toilet. It was going out fishing with, alone, going drinking alone, or where are safe place that we can go and say, hey, bro, you know what? I'm going through some things, right? And not feeling like, yeah, you need some money. Well, what you need I don't need no money. I really need to talk.
I envy about women is that women, they will touch the surface or dig down to the pits of hell to get, to talk about anything. You know what I mean? And it's like, if it hurts one of them, they'll hug each other or they'll cry on each other's shoulder. As men, rather be like, I ain't crying on his shoulder. I ain't no fault. There are a lot of men out there who have it together, as far as their emotions and everything else.
They understand what we're talking about, and they're not scared to show it in whatever way, necessary. But for the most part, men will often internalize this, and it's like, they ain't gonna get up and be like, okay, boy, come to the bathroom with me real quick. I got to talk about it.
Some meeting in the ladies' room.
Get that, where they going? Go some download stuff right there.
You're right.
Enough of that keeps coming down on your head. So what does it make you say? Forget this, whatever. Right. How would you deal with it? You're dealing with this is in a bottle, or it's in your car contemplating, should you drive off a cliff? And but who gonna sit here and say
right? And the crazy thing about it is people who are going through, whether it be mental illness or just depression or sadness, are really, really good at hiding.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
that's why as men, we have to go beyond the surface conversations, because sometimes if you ask the right question, or you're in the right setting, or you show the right look or of emotion, not emotion, but of a concern on your face, you might touch that spot to make them say, hey, you know what? I am off for something. That macho role caused a lot of us to not be here. You know what I mean?
Right. And it's that honest feedback that we got to give people, and they start hemming and hawing and all this other kind of stuff. Or when you start holding another man accountable, what you talk, you think I'm this, you think I'm like trying to do this. No, brother, I'm just trying to find out, how are you doing? I'm not talking about how was that party last night. No, brother. I mean, how are you doing? It ain't all good. I mean, if it's all good for you, it ain't all good for me. That's why I'm trying to strike up a conversation to see, in fact, if you're going through the same things I'm going through, so we can talk about this.
Right. A lot of times, when I talk to some people, some brothers, of course, I come in, with the basic, hey, how you doing, man? And they may say, yeah, I'm good. And I may come back with, no, how are you doing? You know what I mean? Because that may, soften the tone, make them say, you know what? He wants to know how I'm really doing, and hey, I'm a man's man, but hey, I'm human. I cry. I get sad. I hurt. You know what I mean? And I'm not ashamed to admit it, that, hey, that I've sat in the backyard, or thought about maybe how things are going in a moment, or how things would have been different if mom was here, and all these kind of stuff. Man, it gets overwhelming, and I've cried. It'd be great to have a brother that I can relate to that will, besides you, let them know. Because like I said, you're in San Diego and I'm out here in the Inland Empire. And if we lived next to each other, we'd be talking all the time.
Definitely.
And
it's going to get and not all about wonderful stuff, right. It'll be about those things that we typically will talk about, but probably in a deeper way, over cigars, over hen, I mean, whatever it may be, but it's going to open up that opportunity,
right,
and us treating each other like brothers. We brothers, but I'm just saying that next dude who don't have our same situation, don't want to open up, feel the pressure of his children, his wife, his job, and that he's just trying to handle it all. You know what, bro? Straight up, I go to those situations. I can't handle every damn thing. I'm mad all I can be, but there come a time that I'll go out to my backyard, and just kind of look at the stars and be like, it's a lot going on. But then I'll start focusing, going over certain sayings, going over certain things, certain truths, things that we've already accomplished or talked about, different things like that. And then we realize that next step is really not that difficult. But it was just a matter of just getting it out, even if it's on your own in your own backyard. And then, your wife might see you go out there and shed a tear. If you can't handle that, you're going to have to learn to, because we cannot house all of these things that we are trying to house as men and expect us not to implode.
Right. I guess one of the biggest things also for us men is we need to learn to gauge what success means to us, because one thing we cannot do is continue to try to keep up with the Joneses. And in the process, mess things up in our household with our wives because we're just spending unnecessary money, or we just we buy this particular car to try to impress. It's not necessary, man. I mean, whatever kind of car you were blessed with, yeah, you put gas in that thing and you go. I mean, it may not necessarily be a vet. It might be a Honda Accord, or it might be a Toyota Corolla, but whatever it is, be happy the fact that you got a roof over your head and a car to drive. But some of us, we try to keep up with the Joneses to appear to be doing better than we are.
Yeah, that's a big one because, we have these dreams and thoughts of what we want as young men. When we were 20, we were different people. I'm about 30. I'm a whole nother level, which should be of a growing man, at 30. But at 40, I'm starting to see some things, and I'm also value my accomplishments and value what my children are doing. Then at 50, you're like, oh, holy crap. I'm starting to look different. No, we're still fine. But I think
we can still look bad.
But you know what I mean? But it's more time that has coming than that we honestly have available to us. We got to get to the point where we're encouraging each other as men, encourage each other, and then also trying to maintain their friendships, and the friendship meaning that not just, let's go out to party. It might be just one of the situations, hey, bro, come over, what's up? What we gonna do? We gonna go somewhere? No, we ain't going nowhere, bro. I just want to chat, to sip on something, and let's just talk. And then that's okay. And people think that that's corny or something like that, but those are probably some of the most helpful sessions